Welcome back, all my friends. Today's video is going to be a discussion about shackets. And if you don't know what shackets are, stay tuned and you'll find out. We're also going to see Nanny do a great, healthy, easy casserole supper. And Moosie is going to join me for a discussion of a label that you might be interested in. It's vintage, retro, a certain kind of a garment. And right now, you see me in one of them, and you'll see Moosie in the other. So stay tuned, my friends. It should be a fun video. Well, I thought since we've already discussed the hot footwear item of the season, the clog, I thought it might be time to talk about something you might want to wear with those clogs, and that is something called a shacket. Now, if you really think about that word, I think it's been invented, and I don't know who invented it, but as you can tell if you think about the word, it's a combination between a shirt and a jacket. The only difference is that it is worn, it's a garment that is worn mainly for outerwear, and you might wear it in the fall or the spring when you don't need a heavy overcoat. And there are all kinds of shackets, and they are very much the hot thing right now. I have gone through our closets and I've picked out a couple of examples of shackets. And one of the things that they say about shackets is that you can borrow a shacket from your hubby because it's meant to be a big overstyle type of a garment. And I'm going to show you a couple that I have here. Now, Moosie has been wearing shackets for years, and we didn't realize they were shackets. One of them, a lot of them you'll see, by the way, to be plaids. And a regular flannel shirt, one of those lightweight shirts, is still called a shirt. But when they doll it up with perhaps a warm lining, and this is a faux sherpa, it becomes a jacket, mainly because it keeps Moosie warm and he wears it as outerwear. And this is pretty old, as you can see, and he has given several seasons of wear to this shacket. And I never called it a shacket before. One of the other ones, and this is one that I have borrowed myself because it's big, it's Moosie's, and this one is a button-down plaid flannel shirt, but it's more than a lightweight shirt. It has some body to it, and it possibly has a little wool in it, even though it doesn't have a lining, or it is still a shacket. Now, one of the clues to the shirt part of the word is the cuff. It's usually always, not always, but a lot of the time, a buttoned shirt cuff. Sometimes these will have lower pockets, and you'll see a really great example of one of those later. They'll have lower pockets and it becomes less of a shirt. But this is Moosie's, and I would wear this. They're nice and long, they cover your bottom, and worn over a sweater, they're fashionable too. Now, this is one of my favorites. To me, it was always a shirt, but today it's a shacket. And my youngest child, Colleen, who is now 45 or 46, worked at a local Sesame Street shop when she was in high school. She was 15 or 16 when she started there. And it was in our local mall, and I think they were all over the country. Why they closed these shops, I don't know. But the first Christmas that she worked there, she bought me, with her great little discount, this shirt, and as you can see, it's kind of worn out. I wore this teaching all those years because the little kids loved all the designs, and especially the back. And this has the old Sesame Street label. Now, those stores closed, I don't know when, but this I always thought was cute. Now, there's Bert and Ernie. Of course, most of you know who Bert and Ernie is. And they're defining the word buddy, because Bert and Ernie were always good buddies. And a buddy is a pal, a compadre, a friend, someone who is always there to give a little support. Isn't that cute? So this is my shacket. It has the shirt cuff with the buttons, and you can roll those up. Has pockets on the top, and it's quite a heavy, it's almost like a heavy denim. Now, I'm sure a lot of the heavy denim shirts that were shirts that are on the heavy side are called shackets today too. So that's a shacket. And shackets are fun to wear. They're fashionable, mostly plaid. I've also gone through Google and shown you a couple of pictures of some shackets. One that I thought was just darling is a long, sort of a mid-calf plaid shirt with the plaid shirt tail, the cuffs, but I think it might have some pockets. It's came in several plaids. It's on Amazon in case you're interested. And you would just look up midi flannel. You could even, Amazon knows what a shacket is. You could even say shacket or jacket. And it was worn over a heavy sweater, and the gal looked so cute in it. So there's all kinds. Now, this article of clothing that I am going to model for you right now is something that I have had, oh gosh, maybe 20 years. A lot of you laugh at how old some of my clothing is, but actually some of those things are my most favorite of all. Now, if this didn't have a certain name of its own, it could be the best example of a shacket because it has the cuffs. I folded them back, as you can see, the cuffs of a shirt. It is wool, so it's very, very warm. It's an open type shirt with buttons down the front, but you'll see in a minute how this one is different, and I'll tell you something more about it. So I'll walk back here and show you. There, you can see. Do you see it has two pockets like a blazer would be? And some might want to call this a blazer because it does have the structure of a blazer. It has the lapels, the notched lapels. It has the buttons down the front, and of course the pockets. The back is like a box jacket or blazer, and I absolutely love it. Now the difference with this, and I'm going to tell you what it's called. I'm going to show you the label. Can you see that? Yes, it's a Pendleton. It's a vintage retro Pendleton that they're pretty rare, but you can still find some of these if you're interested in this. I don't think this one even has a moth hole in it, even though some years I've not taken really good care of it. We have had some moths lately in some things. But this jacket I have worn so much with jeans or pants. You can dress it up with a white shirt with a frilly collar. You can dress it up with a white notched collar shirt. You can wear it so many ways. It's comfortable and it's so warm because it's 100% wool. I have several types of Pendletons, and in another minute you'll see two more examples of Pendletons. I've picked up all my Pendletons on eBay. You can also find vintage or retro Pendleton shirts or scarves or any number of things. They have that glacier print, which is the white one with the green and yellow stripes. You can see all that. Pinterest, Etsy, consignment shops. Once in a while, if you're very lucky, you could find something in the Pendleton line in a thrift shop. It would be more pricey. But my go-to has mostly been eBay. Sometimes you have to bid on them and you go higher than you want, but you can find these so much more reasonable. Now, if you were to find this in a vintage consignment shop, it might be a lot more expensive, but I have seen them on eBay for $40, $50, sometimes $20 or $30, but they get whipped up really fast. Now, let me tell you the name of this jacket. It's called a 49ers jacket. And there are two styles of these. Now, I did learn just today when I was doing some research that the blue label is always, or most often, men's clothing. The white label with the gold print on it is women's clothing. And then there is a 49ers women's jacket. Now in Pendleton, they don't call them shackets. They definitely call it a 49er jacket. And it's very similar to this. And they recommend that you could wear it with a belt. You could belt it if you had a nice waistline, or you could just wear it the way I wear it. So these jackets are fun. If you're interested in them and you love Pendleton, especially you Easterners, try eBay or Etsy or all those Poshmark, is it? Those secondhand clothing stores or online. And mine all happen to be men's. I love menswear anyway. Excuse me?
Why is it called 49?
Oh, Moosie says you didn't explain why it's called a 49er jacket. Well, it came to be in 1949 for the first time in women's clothing. But I think that the men have been wearing this for a lot longer. And it was meant to be a jacket of leisure, worn less formal than a jacket, a normal blazer or a suit jacket, but more for lounging around, maybe with the men smoking a pipe, sitting by the fireplace, or the women in their sporty outfits going out to lunch. So it goes back to 1949, and it's meant to be a jacket of leisure, but it's one of my faves, and I'm lucky to have one of these. Now, I also wanted to talk about the new type of video that YouTube is promoting, and you've probably seen a lot of them and wondered what it's all about. Well, it's called a YouTube Shorts, SHORTS, and it's a video that is made by all the creators in addition to, not to replace their long videos, but they're made to interact and be a part of the creator's presence. They're made in a vertical format, and so they'd be thinner and you'd see the black on both sides. They have to be under 60 seconds, and I believe some of them are 15 seconds. Some people have even made, I think the minimum is 5. You have to do 5 seconds. And they can be funny, they can be informative or entertaining. They're set to music. You don't have to do music. You can speak, or you can do a voiceover or pantomime, or not at all. And there's a certain way you do it. Now, you don't just make a video and then plop it on. It has to be done in a certain app on YouTube. And I can get to that app and I can find the music. If you want music they actually provide music. And this time there's quite a lot of popular songs, rap and pop and oldies but goodies. And you can choose one of those and not get a copyright strike. And I'm dying to do this. In fact, I was practicing last week, but I can't figure out how to get the editing done, or uploading seems to be fairly right. You do it on your phone, and that's the way it goes. So I just wanted to let you know that if you see one of these pop up, don't think I'm going to be stopping my nice long Gabby rabbit hole videos. It's just something to do in between, and sometimes I think what they're going to do is they're going to have the shorts videos that you do in a certain section on your channel. So you might look at other people's shorts and see if you like them. You don't have to watch them, but one of these days I'll figure out how to do it. Tonight for supper, I'm making a broccoli and salmon cheese bake. And this is what I'm using. I have cracked 4 eggs into my bowl, and I'm going to whisk those as I go ahead and add the milk and perhaps a little sour cream. I did add my spices, my dill and my parsley and garlic salt. I also added a little bit of Parmesan cheese in here, so that will do. And I added about a cup of milk just to make everything I needed enough liquid. The salmon has baked for about 20-25 minutes at 400, and I'm going to continue to cut it up into little flakes. Oh, it looks good. So this is ready. I put a little lemon juice in here with some oil, so they should be tasty. All right, I think I have enough now. I'm going to take my blanched, I have about 13 or 14 little broccoli florets, and I'm going to put them in the bowl. And then I'm going to put my flaked salmon. Now I have buttered my dish. I'm going to put in my salmon. And I'm going to spread it all around among the florets. You know, Moose wanted to know what we were having for supper, and I told him it was going to be a surprise because he loves salmon, but he doesn't like broccoli. So we're not telling him that the broccoli is in here. He'll discover it sooner or later and discover how delicious it is. I'm going to put 2 kinds of cheese. I love the mozzarella because it's so gooey, and the cheddar cheese, of course, is nice. So I'm going to put some of both in here. As you can see, probably 2 handfuls. And this is tasty. Now I have my sauteed onions, and I just put them, sauteed them to a glaze, and I'm going to sprinkle those around in here as well. You don't have to put onions in, but I always think onions gives it a nice taste. Remember I told you I cleaned out the refrige and I had some green chilies left, so I'm going to put those in. My mixture is ready to go, but just for kicks, I'm going to add a dollop of sour cream to it right now, and I'll sort of whisk it in a little bit. Ooh, my hands are slippery, and so is my apron, so I can't wipe them. Wouldn't that be funny? So I continue with my boo-boos here. Okay, so I put in a dollop or 2 of sour cream, and I'm going to add a little mayo too. I use the mayo with the olive oil. I love my mayo. So I'm going to put some mayo in. Why, I don't know, but just maybe you can thicken up the egg mixture a little bit. So I mixed it in, and I don't think I've forgotten anything. I will put some more Parmesan cheese on the top and probably another sprinkling of that. Don't think I've forgotten anything. I hope not. So let's see if this is enough, and it's enough to cover all this. I have no idea how much this will rise. Probably could have put more in, but that's it. So here it is. Doesn't look too appetizing right now, but I'm hoping with 4 eggs it will rise. I'm gonna sprinkle Parmesan. I don't have fresh Parmesan. If I did, I would use the fresh Parmesan. Mostly in my recipes, I kind of use what I have, and that's about it. Now they call this a cheesy salmon and broccoli bake, and it sure should be cheesy. And I think that's it. Now, if I wanted to, I could run out and get some fresh basil from the garden, but number one, Moosie's not wild about basil, and number two, I have my slippers on. I'm not ready to go out. It's one of those bougie days. Well, not really, because I've been working on my closet trying to purge. But, whoops, that was too much still. So I gotta kind of move that around. Because if Moosie gets a bite of that, that should be mine end. Well, it's time to put all this in the oven. I hope that I have enough liquid in here. You can see the size of the dish. It's called Cheesy Salmon and Broccoli Bake with some onions and some cheese, and that's it. Well, another messy table here, but we've put our cheesy broccoli and salmon bake in at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. It might not need that long to cook, but I'll be anxious to see how it rises. Well, I have the plate waiting for the cheese and broccoli bake, and I put out some arugula and spinach, and I'm gonna put some of my teeny tiny tomatoes on there that I had. Oop, one escaped. And I've made a dressing of olive oil, red wine vinegar, and a little bit of spicy brown mustard, and I will put that on top of the arugula for a nice salad on the side. I'm gonna dig into this now to test. Does look delicious, but it didn't rise up more than, I would say, probably 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches, not quite 2. So what did I do wrong? When I put the mayonnaise and the sour cream in with the egg mixture, or too much milk? Tell me, ladies, but it does look delicious, and I'm sure Moosie will enjoy it. So, happy Halloween. Hope you're all enjoying your supper. Well, look who I have here. And look at us. Can you tell what we have on? We're gonna stand up in a little while. Right, Mose?
Good.
And you're going to see us in our Pendleton robes, our vintage Pendleton robes that I bought once again years and years ago on eBay. And they're cozy and warm, and we just wanted to show them to you today.
You know that in Pendleton rings a bell.
Oh yeah.
Bunny hole?
Go for it, my friend.
We were married, first year we were married, first Christmas we were married. I was making $222 a month in the Army. We had no money, but somehow or other you found your way into Louisville and bought a Pendleton shirt. Probably $29, you know, that's 10% of my pay. And the thing about it is that it was on a guy who was 42 chest, 32 waist.
You're a skinny boy. Yeah.
No, I was built.
Oh yeah, built. But skinny waist. Now, I didn't buy this shirt for me, by the way.
No.
I bought it for my buddy here for Christmas. It was a Christmas present.
But I must have stayed that size until the elbows were, you could see through them. Is that the one you put the patches on?
Yes, I went out and I bought those suede patches with the holes in them. And I sewed them on by hand with some heavy thread in all the holes around. And they were a beautiful tan. And by the way, the shirt was very similar to this. This is the Royal Stuart plaid or tartan. And that's what most of these Pendleton robes and shirts are. And I believe that one was similar. But
I think you showed one of them before.
I did. I think it was his
very
red
Pendleton,
shirt.
red and green.
Yeah. It was absolutely beautiful. Yes, it was. Come to think of it.
I mean,
Red
I
and
was
green.
beautiful.
You were beautiful, and especially in that shirt.
Especially today.
And today, too.
You too.
Well, by the way, that year was 1960, the year we were married.
Yeah.
And Moose was in the Army at Fort Knox, Kentucky. And we drove home in the snow. 2 days it took us to get back to New Jersey for Christmas holidays with our family. I think Moose had a week leave. Was it about a week?
I had to be back for New Year's.
And lo and behold, we were pregnant with our first son, Billy. And I guess I didn't realize it until I got in that car. And for 10 hours, both days, I was so sick. And I was probably about 6 weeks pregnant.
Yeah.
And when we got home, I don't think they had tests in those days, did they?
No.
No, they didn't.
No.
But we figured out because I'd missed. And we were so happy. So all our parents and all our brothers and sisters were not only excited to see us home for the first time. We were married in July and went right to Fort Knox after our honeymoon.
Right.
And now they knew that a new little baby. We didn't know the sex in those days either.
No.
Right until the day the baby was born.
Billy.
But that's our Pendleton story. So we are going to attempt to model our...
No, that was a pregnancy story.
Well, it turned
That was a
into-
bunny hole.
That was a bunny hole. So you get 2 bunny holes for the price of one, right? Okay, let's try and model our robe so you can see how great these robes are. Can you stand up, Moosie,
Sure.
with me?
Sure.
I'll pull your chair back. Here.
See this pocket here? That's where I used to put my cigarettes.
Oh, gee, yeah. Now look at the look at Moosie's. These robes are belted. They have a beautiful cowl neck and nice belt. And look at the pockets down here. See his
My
hand
head's
in
cut
his
off.
pocket. That's all right. You know, they'll see your head again. And they're very long. I would say they way down beyond mid-calf. That's what I love about
Oh,
them.
yeah.
They're very long. In fact,
Nice.
they almost touch his ankles. And
Could I touch your ankles?
yeah, sure. So doesn't he look smart? Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry. I'll tie it up for you.
Fall
again.
apart.
You forgot to do the second. Ooh. I'm trying to give you a waist here. There. So isn't that cute? And I'll show you mine also. And we are going to, where's your coffee? What you leave? You left your coffee somewhere.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, you may take a sip of mine. He doesn't like coffee with cream in it like I do. But anyway, this is our little lounge. And one of these days, we're going to put a fire on in our fireplace. And we're going to sit by the fireplace sipping, what would you like to sip? Port?
Yeah.
We used to do that in the mountains.
Yeah.
We used to sit by the fireplace in the snow and sip little glasses of port.
You know, the other night I slept like a log.
Oh, gee. Here we go.
Woke up in the fireplace.
Oh, now that's spontaneous. That one just came to him. You may sit down now and show your face
May
again.
I?
Yes. You can show your pretty face.
Pretty.
So let me show mine. Mine is exactly the same. And you know what else I love about these? These are large. If you go hunting on eBay or Etsy or someplace, try and get the largest size you can because they're men's. They both have the blue labels in them. But look at the look at how it's so it's like doubled on me, which is great. And mine has the same pockets, just like Moosie, as you can see. And I had to roll up my cuffs, but let me just show your cuff, Moose. They're so nice. I think you might still have buttons on yours. Can you see that? Hold your arm up closer to the camera.
Yep.
Yeah, look at that. See the button? Take your hand away. Put your hand away. Here, bring this arm forward. You're not moving.
This is the most exciting button we've had.
Oh, gee. But look at that. All the sleeves have these buttons. Mine, I have to roll mine up, but I think my buttons are missing. Another pun. I'm getting like you.
Oh, God.
My buttons are missing. You would
We
say.
knew that.
Sometimes.
They write in about that.
Okay, no buttons. My button fell off somewhere years and years ago. But anyway, that's it. And by the way, our daughter, I've been talking about Barry and Debbie being on their New England wonderful trip. They said it's the best trip they've ever taken in their lives.
Bunny hole.
And they love, no, it's not bunny hole. They love to hear this. And they went to the Pendleton shop up there. Is it in Maine or Vermont?
State of Washington.
I don't think so.
They went to LL Bean, but never mind.
I don't think so. We'll see. But anyway, so that's our Pendleton story, and you got to see Moosie, and like that, say goodbye.
Bye, friends. I love you.
I guess we'll close with this little twosome here. We love you. Thank you for being so considerate about our new schedule of Sunday and Wednesday. And I hope you'll all still be watching. And we love you all. Bye for now.
God bless us all.